1v1 on Kolodny Ferma Summer. This game is going to be Crazyman64335 against VonIvan, both quite prolific players. We've seen both of them participate in tournaments. We've seen both of them in Starcross casts before, so people who watch my channel definitely know who these two people are, and of course people who watch VonIvan stream probably more familiar with his tactics than I am. I don't watch VonIvan as much as I probably should, because he actually had a pretty impressive performance today during Starcross Kings against OMG Pop with his partisan tactics. So we can definitely all learn a few things from VonIvan, I think. And we're going to see him playing Soviets this game in the left base, making his way straight towards the south VP off the start, going with an extra combat engineer squad and a Maxim. And Crazyman playing his Upper Commando West east base, going with the triple Folks Grenadier opening. No Kuba Wagon for him this game. And the Kuba Wagon seems pretty good to me now. We've seen OMG Pop use it every time he plays OKW, which is rare, but he does play OKW occasionally. And every time he does, he gets the Kuba Wagon, uses it to pretty good effect. Seems to help the Over Commando West early game a lot. Because you really can benefit very much from suppression in the early game. Suppression makes all the difference in the world in winning early engagements. Folks Grenadiers can struggle a little bit, but since he went with only Folks Grenadiers and his opponent got a tech structure, he actually has a bit of a manpower advantage here at the beginning. Has a few more combat capable squads on the field. And he will continue to if he just keeps up Folks Grenadier production. And if he manages to negate the threat of this Maxim by continually staying out of its arc of fire, which he seems to be doing quite well here, should be able to manage that threat rather nicely. With conscripts moving up to support, he won't be able to win this engagement, unfortunately. And those Folks Grenadiers will be forced to retreat. May merge with this Maxim to keep it on the field a little longer, or not. It's just going to move to take some territory. Another engagement here in the north. Combat Engineers will be forced to retreat from Folks Grenadiers, and the center victory point has been taken as well. Stern Pioneers making their way back to the front line after being forced to retreat with light damage. And VonIvan has already selected a commander. He's gone with mechanized support. So we're going to see ISU 152 this game, I suspect. Crazyman going with breakthrough, fortifications, and scavenge.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector. We are bleeding, comrade. Man down.
Conscripts move into the strategic point right there. Conscripts taking control of that munitions point.
Supply sector under attack.
Combat Engineers moving to engage here. The north has been cut off for now. Folks Grenadiers moving to get that fuel point under control. The south fuel has been cut off here by VonIvan though. And another cutoff maneuver is being made by Stern Pios there on the strategic point. They're going to try and move to get cover. Actually going to throw up some reinforced wire under conscript. Two squads of conscripts firing at them though. It's a rather dangerous thing to do. They're gonna have to retreat. Looks like they are gonna be able to get away though. In this area, grenade gets tossed at that Maxim, very clumped, but they don't quite get wiped. And that's gonna be able to retreat and be fine. Conscripts in the area should be able to get that fuel under control. This flamethrower squad looks like it should also be able to get this strategic point under control. The fuel point here in the north will still be connected by the munitions point here. That doesn't really cut any resources off other than just that strategic point's resources. Molotov getting tossed at those Folks Grenadiers. They will dodge and get forced to retreat thereafter. Too many conscripts right there. No real way of winning that engagement, although I guess he did bait a munitions expenditure. That doesn't really count for much versus Soviets who have tons of munitions and Molotovs cost almost nothing. Flamethrower moves away from the strategic point to start harassing the munitions. The north fuel very briefly could get cut off here. But once the strategic point's restored, fuel will just start coming back in, so that makes very little real difference.
We have now installed a field hospital. Enemy forces are
Conscripts
neutralizing
engaging
the sector.
Volksgrenadiers in the north. They are going to toss a Molotov to flush them out of cover. Another engagement here in the south. 2 squads of conscripts with lots of green cover available. Should be fine against that advancing lone squad of Volksgrenadiers. And this engagement for the center looks like it will go to these Stern Pioneers if they close the distance on those combat NGs. Ooh, that squad's dangerously low. Stern Pioneers moving up into the retreat path of that practically dead flamethrower. Okay, there it goes. I wasn't sure what was going to happen there. They were rotating a little weird. They do get a burst off on him in red cover. Flamethrower pops, squad gets wiped. So nice play by Crazyman right there to wipe out that late retreat on the Flamethrower squad. These 2 squads from VonIvan going to continue to pressure the cutoff. Volksgrenadiers sneaking around the south to try and get the fuel back under control. Worry about the cutoff later.
Attempting to capture our territory.
Volksgrenadiers are going to force a retreat from that squad of conscripts. Ooh, pretty good mine. It's a lot of manpower bleed on those Stern Pioneers. Conscripts moving to push away. The Volksgrenadiers here. These 2 squads of conscripts have done a lot of work down here in the south. He's going to take advantage of this engagement here, stalling with these Volksgrenadiers to allow that tier 4 structure to build. Maxim might spot that when he gets inside of the church, or if he just catches it building, it could be devastating. It looks like he's going to catch this building with that squad of conscripts and a Maxim, and I don't see anything available anywhere to screen and save it. That tier 4 structure has to be cancelled. It was already about a third destroyed, so Crazyman loses maybe 20-ish fuel, I don't know. Wasn't sure what his fuel was at when he started trying to build that. And it's going to be a long time before the second SWS half-track arrives. Conscripts have still maintained total control over the south. Crazyman really struggling to make something happen there, and VonIvan is having delayed the tier 4 structure by a lot. He's probably gonna force Crazyman into a Jagdpanzer, depending on what he wants to do. He has gone Breakthrough, which is quite popular for Panzer Fusiliers. So if he upgrades some of them with G43s, he might have a little bit of anti-infantry firepower to work with. Use the Jagdpanzer for anti-tank.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
And it is nice to have the Jagdtiger available against mechanized support, of course, because you want to have a nice hard counter to the ISU 152 when the time comes. Managing to field a Jagdtiger is no small feat, though.
Forces are capturing our supplies. Ambush camouflage now available. The sector is at risk.
Squad's trying to get some territory under control. Conscripts harassing the strategic point in the north. Volksgrenadiers taking control of the victory point there. Combat engineers in the church taking light damage, but nothing too serious. Just trying to provide vision and stall. But a lot of territory falling into Oberkommando West hands here. Conscripts oorah into close range on the Volksgrenadiers here on the munitions point there. Don't take really any damage on the approach. Volksgrenadiers will have to reposition to safety. They'll hold on to that munitions for now here in green cover. Molotov gets tossed over the hedge. Volksgrenadiers take a minor damage. More cover going up here while conscripts try and get control of that fuel point back. A lot of territory changing hands. Victory point still dead even. No really decisive engagements yet. Still only one squad wiped all game. Just that flamethrower squad. Nothing else. Both players spreading their forces all over the map. right now.
Well done, comrades. The point is ours. We have the point.
Guard rifle infantry squads can now be called to fight for the motherland.
Sturm Pioneers move up to fire on those conscripts at short range. Looks like they might take the engagement, force the retreat, get back into green cover. The 3 model still standing. May be able to win this engagement if those conscripts don't toss a Molotov. Panzer Fusiliers are available to support. 2 conscripts get dropped, and he seems to not be able to make up his mind about what he wants to do here in this engagement. He's going to stick it out. Another engagement happening up here in the north. DP's upgraded on that guard squad. More Volksgrenadiers moving up into this house, potentially. There they go, securing building control away from that Maxim. Here in the south, the Sturm Pioneers were able to kill 4 of those advancing conscripts, force a retreat from the remaining 2 squad members, so those Sturm Pioneers definitely made good progress. A lot of manpower damage inflicted there on that munitions point, so they had green cover. Only took 1 model loss, took out a ton of conscripts, and Panzer Fusiliers moving up to support them and going to take control of all territory there in the south. Volksgrenadiers that took control of the building leave the building and are trying to do as much damage to that Maxim as they can, bringing it down to only 1 man. Volksgrenadiers close into short range on those guards, bait the guards into tossing a grenade and then immediately retreating, so kind of convinced his opponent to spend a little munitions there. And that's actually quite good against mechanized support, because even though Soviets aren't that munitions hungry, usually mechanized support kind of is. Guards have to spend a lot of munitions on DP machine guns and grenades, and of course the bomb run is 200 munitions, so you don't see like huge munitions float as mechanized support the same way you do with Soviet industry or any other Soviet commander that doesn't have some form of off-map artillery.
We have the point secured.
Vehicles can be marked and targeted.
Panzer II has been fielded by Crazyman from his Tier 4 structure, which he does manage to produce here. He puts it in a much safer location this time, not wanting to let that get caught out of position by a Maxim or guards or whatever. It's pretty safe. It will be able to somewhat defend the fuel and cut off where it currently is. Conscripts will be forced to retreat right there. Panzer II taking control of the center victory point. Panzer II moves up to engage these conscripts right here. And he secured another squad wipe at the Panzer II, so that's 2 squad wipes now in Crazyman's favor. Don't think he's lost any full squads of his own. He's starting to get a little bit up there for veterancy. Two stars on a bunch of his squads. Maxim moving to engage. Manages to suppress that 1 squad of Volksgrenadiers. Grenade gets tossed. Counter Molotov. 1 flame crit on that Volksgrenadier squad.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Volksgrenadiers need to retreat. The engagement will go to the Soviet player for now. Panzer II has taken a pretty decent amount of damage, actually, from PTRS fire. So. Ooh, exposes itself to 2 anti-tank grenades right there. I guess main gun destroyed crit. That was kind of lucky. Those conscripts might have been tempted to chase, but since it's inside the protective zone of the Tier 4 structure, it's probably going to get away fine. Molotov will threaten to wipe those Panzer Fusiliers. They get away by a hair.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
And the Panzer II looks like it's going to be able to get back for repairs easily enough. But a T-34 is on the hunt. Probably going to be able to hunt that down. No mines, no anti-tank of any kind. Gonna protect it. It's just sitting there. Perfect. Perfect. Guess by VonIvan as to that thing's location. He dove straight down the road and took it out. And he's now going to start applying pressure to the Tier 4 structure there. Conscripts taking control of the strategic point. And guards are going to continue to defend this munitions. Get some shots off on those Folks Grenadiers. They have to hide behind this house. They do get suppressed though. T-34 is gonna take a little damage from the Panzerschreck squad right there. And apparently where this T-34 is positioned, it can attack the Tier 4 structure without being shot at in return by the structure. So really nice positioning. He found a really good sweet spot right there where he could fire on this thing. I don't know if he's using attack ground, but all of his shots are connecting. I haven't seen a single shot miss the structure, so. Gets a lot of damage done before being finally pushed away by Folks Grenadiers. And he should be able to get that damage repaired easily enough. He has 2 combat engineering squads on the field. Throws a fuel cache up right there. He's working on the victory point here in the north.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
And a couple sandbags are being thrown up by these Folks Grenadiers while Panzer Fusiliers take control of the center VP.
We have been promoted for our bravery, brothers. Area secured.
T-34 is exposing itself to a lot of harm here. 2 Panzerschreck squads fire on it as it crosses the center, giving those Folks Grenadiers a little bit of free veterancy. Flamethrower moves up to flush them out of cover. T-34 is awaiting repairs here on the road.
It is now under our control.
North victory point being taken by these Folks Grenadiers, trying to throw up a little cover of their own. Bet 3 Maxim in the house, supported by these conscripts, may prove too much for those Folks Grenadiers to take on, but if they can flank around behind and get that cache destroyed, that would certainly be a small victory. The Tier 4 structure has been fully repaired by Sturm Pioneers here in the south. Rakettenwerfer is moving to protect it against pushes by this tank. And Obersoldaten are also on the field to protect against those conscripts. They're not upgraded with the LMG, but they still do pretty good damage, honestly. Flame crit on the Rakettenwerfer forces it to retreat a little early. Obersoldaten will be sufficient to convince those conscripts to retreat, though. Oh, was not monitoring that squad. They stuck around in red cover for just a second too long. Full squad of Folks Grenadiers wiped there. I think that'll be his first squad wipe of the game. Meanwhile, 2 Panzerschreck squads trying to find an opportunity against that T-34. It's a little bit backed into a corner here. Although now that he just walked way south, that T-34 gets a window of opportunity to escape. And it should be able to make it back to safety just fine. Kind of outwitted Crazyman a little bit right there. Made good use of the road to get back to safety. Folks Grenadiers here on the fuel point. We'll be able to get that under control. Panzer Fusiliers taking the strategic point as well, and the south fuel will be retaken by these Obers, and a cutoff maneuver by these Folks Grenadiers will get a lot of munitions income for VonIvan shut down if he would stand in the capture circle. T-34 is receiving some repairs, and VonIvan is getting pretty close to his ISU-152, still about 70 fuel away, and then he'll be able to throw that on the field.
Supply lines have been cut.
Molotov gets dodged in the north. With cover, I think these Folks Grenadiers will win the engagement. Unless that happens. Maxim suppresses those Folks Grenadiers from off screen. Combat engineers moving to take control of the strategic point right there, and conscripts are making their way towards the south to see if they can make something happen. The Obersoldaten will continue to do some harassment without healing or reinforcing. Going to be a little weak. I think a squad of conscripts could probably beat them in an engagement in this state.
Who needs engineers when you have strong
Obersoldaten are a little expensive for their performance now.
Taking fire!
Without the LMG, of course,
Enemy fire incoming!
which he hasn't been able to get the munitions for. You can still see they do pretty respectable damage, bringing that flamethrower squad down to two guys on the approach. And I don't know, maybe I'm selling them a little short. They definitely do unload the damage big time. Molotov actually does a little friendly fire right there, literally. Stern Pioneers fall low, but conscripts are forced to retreat regardless. Obersoldaten and Sturms will both retreat, not wanting to take any more manpower bleed from that T-34, which is moving to re-engage here in the south. Panzer Fusiliers and Volksgrenadiers moving to engage in this area. Demo charge on the strategic point. Trying to get some territory back under control. VonIvan has really good map control. Has for a long time. Crazyman can't seem to make anything happen anywhere. He's not really collecting all of his forces for one engagement in one concentrated area of the map, and as a result he gets kind of chased off by slightly more powerful Soviet harassing units like the T-34 and the guards, their DPs and PTRSs.
Step back! This is our territory now!
The enemy has cut off a sector.
Grenade gets tossed. Conscripts will retreat.
Supply sector under attack.
Couple squads gonna get some territory back under control there in the south and center, so again Oberkommando West pretty much fails to make any progress anywhere on the map. Shoved back into his base, and the victory points are starting to take against him pretty quick. He's been able to hold the center one for a little while. That's falling out of his control now with this T-34 on the field and his own Panzer II destroyed. He's in a lot of trouble. T-34 will get pushed away by the Raketenwerfer there. Gets 2 shots off. I don't think that would have happened pre-patch. T-34 brought down to half health. We'll have to pull back for repairs. Volksgrenadiers, Vet 4 now, trying to take control of the north victory point. Slow the VP drain if at all possible. And VonIvan is going to be able to field that ISU quite soon. Probably could have gotten it already if he hadn't fielded this somewhat fresh squad of guard rifles, but I guess he thought it would be worthwhile to have those DPs and PTRSs on the field. Or just PTRSs, actually. Obersoldaten have been reinforced. They're now Vet 1. And they're going to upgrade with an LMG now that Crazyman has finally collected the munitions to do so. Making them a much scarier anti-infantry force.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Volksgrenadiers taking control of this strategic point here in the north. Couple squads. Gonna take control of this victory point, but again,
300 points remaining.
these Volksgrenadiers are just gonna get pushed away by superior numbers, really. Just more stuff in this area to counter-harass, and the victory point's gonna fall right back into VonIvan's hands. The clock's gonna start ticking against Crazyman just as fast as it was before. He has fielded up Panther, though. Finally got that thing out. Have a very powerful weapon with which to engage that T-34, and we're going to see engine damage. Nice play! Nice play with those Panzer Fusiliers catching that T-34, repairing. Volksgrenadiers forced to retreat from the combat engineers. I don't know why he's exposing his rear armor to that, but okay. T-34 goes down. Meanwhile, here in the north,
One of our vehicles.
conscripts will be forced to retreat there. Fresh squad of Fusiliers moved up to try and get the victory points back under control once again. Molotov might be able to turn this engagement, but looks like those Fusiliers are in pretty safe state, and it's going to take some real harassment or counter-harassment by VonIvan to get them out of there, and probably more than just one conscript squad. Crossing red cover, they don't take any real damage. Move up into Molotov range, Crazyman will dodge. So the engagement should go to Crazyman here. Fusiliers get the victory point under their control and make their way towards the north to continue harassment with an ISU 152 now on the field. VonIvan is going to move to engage this Panther. He has armor-piercing rounds equipped. That ISU is getting into really close range. He's going to try and chase that Panther down. He's got a Panzerschreck on his flank, but he does have an AT gun and some guard rifles here in the back. Trying to convince that Panther to chase him into this trap, I think. Throwing that ISU 152 out there to bait him, but I think he may have overextended by just a hair. I don't know. Marked vehicle goes up. Shot penetrates. Oh, his IS-2 goes down, and a field gun shot bounced on the frontal armor of the Panther. Oh, he does manage to lure that Panther in dangerously close. Maybe if he had buttoned it, he might have taken that Panther out. But it gets away by just a sliver because of that AT gun shot not penetrating there at range. And VonIvan loses a full ISU 152 and trades almost nothing for it at all. Not a very good return on that investment. I don't even know if he nailed any infantry. He's going to move the field gun up to try and take out the Tier 4 structure while the Panther is receiving repairs there in the back. Meanwhile, here in the north, Panzer Fusiliers taking control of the fuel. Ooh, Obersoldaten proving to be quite potent against those guards. They're going to be forced to retreat even with the PTRS buff. And they now have their MG34 and a DP machine gun. Tier 4 structure dealing a lot of damage to the guards right there. The Panther's been fully repaired and is making its way to the front line to engage. Crazyman has not yet collected the munitions for the top-mount machine gun. Well, he just has chosen not to purchase it for whatever reason. Possibly wanting to save for G43 or another Panzerschreck. I don't know, he has a lot of possible munition sinks. He also is trying to save up munitions for grenades also, so to help turn engagements in his favor. Tosses one there, brings one conscript squad quite low. This charge of infantry stands no chance of success, really. Will be pushed completely off the map. Crazyman will preserve his Tier 4 structure for now, having destroyed that ISU-1. Oh, why did he do that? He could have salvaged that. I think, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Rakettenwerfer taking the fuel. Panzer Fusiliers taking the munitions and victory points. Panther making its way towards the north to start taking out caches. I think VonIvan built 2 caches this game. Both now are going to be destroyed, hurting his fuel income a little bit. Not quite where he needs to be for another ISU 152. Panther's going to take out the cache right there. And the Panther's going to disengage, not wanting to get caught out of position for too long. He doesn't want to get buttoned and shot by a Zis. He's going to play it safe. Position to safety, although he is driving over a lot of roads witut minesweeper support. Probably going to be fine. Volksgrenadiers and Panzer Fusiliers taking control of more territory here in the south. I don't know if he's going to have vision for this demo charge or not. It's not really, I don't think that squad would get wiped. Volksgrenadiers will simply retreat. Stern Pioneers in this building eat up a Molotov. No losses though, inflicting a bit of damage to those conscripts and start harassing this territory. DP machine guns and PTRSs engaging the Volksgrenadiers here. They no longer have the Vet 5 received accuracy bonus. You can see quite clearly how much less durable they are actually. Those guys went down much more easily than they did pre-patch to a guard squad. Not sure who would have won that engagement pre-patch. Well, probably the Volksgrenadiers. Probably would have come down to who tossed a grenade first. Stern Pioneers firing on these conscripts are gonna get wiped. Ugh. Wasn't monitoring that engagement. That was a Vet 3 Stern Pioneer squad. Now he notices and cleaves up a new one, seeing that go down. Knows he needs Sturm Pioneers to be able to repair his Panther. Oh, hey, Mad Horde. I'll get to it as soon as I can. Probably, if not today, then tomorrow. It depends on how many I have in line. And you don't have to put it on kotu.org. You can just email it to me. Either way is fine. Usually I go online at about 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Roughly. Good questions. I might go on earlier than that if I want to get warmed up for the tournament, though. Field guns are taking damage. Moving extremely slowly through red cover. There they go. Trying to get away from the Panzer Fusiliers there in green cover. Got 5 Volksgrenadiers in the south. Obersoldaten support taking control of the munitions and victory points. Panzer Fusiliers forced to retreat there. Flamethrower getting into short range on the Fusiliers here. Needs flame crits to win this. They are standing in red cover. Taking a lot of damage. Doesn't look too good. Why won't he retreat? Oh man, he just handed a flamethrower over to Vet 2 Panzer Fusiliers. That's not good. Now they don't even need a G43. Raketenwerfer and Volksgrenadiers here in the south. Oh no, those Obers are standing right on that demo charge. That's squad wipe for sure. Guess he doesn't have vision.
We are losing territory.
No. I don't know, I didn't catch it in time. I don't know if he had vision or not. He should definitely gamble on that though. He should just click the button. It would be really nice to wipe that Obersoldaten squad. Grenade toss at the field guns. Will clear 1. Vet 5 Volksgrenadiers with flamethrower support trying to take out those guards. Meanwhile, infantry moving up from the south. Obersoldaten are now Vet 2. There are serious threats of those conscripts, especially the ones in red cover. Firing on the ones in the building, but they've already lost 2 models. Flamethrower, Panzer Fusiliers look like they're going to wipe the Vet 3 Maxim. No, that was a really powerful asset this whole game. Finally goes down to the stolen Flamethrower. And ISU 152 is going to rumble onto the field now. That'll be the second one. He's finally gotten that out. Panther is still available. It's Vet 1 can move up to engage that thing pretty freely. Not that many mines on the field from VonIvan, who's spending a lot of munitions on grenades and DP machine guns. Sturm Pioneers engaging these conscripts here in the north. We'll convince them to back off a little bit. The Panther's moving to support. ISU's about to move up and start taking shots, though. At quite close range, apparently. Armor-piercing rounds equipped, doesn't do that much damage. One model goes down. Conscripts taking control of territory here in the south. Flamethrowers will retreat. Just trying to get shots off on the Panther. With the elevation and vision blockers, it's difficult. Grenade toss. Grenade dodged. They're going to lose the engagement anyway, though, getting nailed by PTRSs and DP machine guns. Counter grenade, also dodged. There he goes. Not even close. Barely even scratched those guard rifles. Really need some serious anti-infantry firepower to beat those guys now. Just a huge accuracy increase.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Still armor-piercing rounds equipped. Doesn't look like he wants to switch. He just wants to leave it on armor-piercing. He doesn't want to let that Panther catch him with his pants down. Although that's exactly what's about to happen. Panther catches him sideways. ISU will reposition. Panther could have probably gone deep right there. I don't know. There was some guards available for a button, so maybe not. Probably not. AT grenade would have been bad news. Didn't have enough supporting infantry in the area to commit to a big attack right there. Needs to get his Fusiliers and Sturm Piles up there. Some supporting infantry. Make a coordinated push. Got 2 squads of conscripts. guard rifles, AT gun, and a half-health ISU 152. Definitely looks like an engagement that Crazyman could win if he fielded all of his forces in a nicely executed flank. Does need to be mindful of VPs, but it's not that urgent. Wow, that was a huge hit from an armor-piercing round. 3 Folks Grenadiers just died, and that was an armor-piercing shot. They were pretty clumped, though.
We are losing territory.
Man down!
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Grenade tossed on those guard rifles. If they fall low, they may be forced to retreat soon. Flamethrower Fusiliers are available to support here. Ooh, huge hit from the ISU on the Panther. Panther's shot on the frontal armor does penetrate, though. ISU falling dangerously low. Fusiliers moving up to support in this engagement have pushed away all infantry. Full squad of conscripts wiped. Whoa, what is this retreat? Why would he retreat? I thought he had a big opening right there. It's kind of a shame. Still had armor-piercing rounds equipped. Neither of those squads was going to get wiped. Guess he just didn't want to risk it.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Weird. ISU is gonna get hit by the Panther. It's falling a little low. ISU's taking pressure from that Folks Grenadier squad with armor-piercing rounds equipped. Doesn't have the AoE to pressure it into a full retreat. Panther's going in. AT gun set up to screen. No, not good enough. Oh no, it's exposing its rear armor. Oh, doesn't get the shot off. Doesn't get the shot off, and another ISU goes down to a pretty well-executed maneuver by the Panther. A little bit of good maneuvering and a little bit of luck right there. Wasn't sure how that engagement was going to go. Panther got the first shot off, though. When we go back and edit the movie in the future, we'll make it look like the ISU tried to shoot first, though, so that nobody's feelings get hurt. Grenades and counter grenades being exchanged in this engagement. Superior numbers win. Soviets advancing here. Soviet is losing control of a lot of territory and a lot of fuel down the drain. Both those IS-2s gone. A second Panther's on the field now. We've also got Mechanized Regiment headquarters going up. Maybe he wants to get a Stuka on the field. Maybe he wants to activate a transfer ability for more munitions, for more grenades in these infantry engagements. Maybe plant some more mines. Panther's trying to go in on the T-34 here. It's in a little danger, though. PTRS is bringing the Panther low. AT gun doesn't quite have an arc fire, though. T-34 shot threatening to destroy the Panther. It's very close to going down. Panther will get clear of the AT gun's arc of fire. Continues circling the T-34. There it goes. T-34 goes down to the fresh Panther. Second Panther moving up to support in this engagement. AT gun cannot get a shot off on that one, and it will get to safety. These two squads of infantry going to be forced to retreat as well. Not looking good for VonIvan.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Vet 2 Panther. Shots are bouncing off its frontal armor. The top mount machine gun on that red cover. Field gun should probably be able to clear that out quite easily. The model's dropping quite quickly. Only one shot penetrates. And it looks like VonIvan has been pushed completely off the map. That field gun's about to get destroyed. Has very few forces remaining, just these 5 squads in his base, with which he will have to contend with 26 stars of vet on infantry and 2 stars of vet on tanks. It's a lot of veteran infantry. Kind of amusing, actually, that the flamethrower Fusiliers don't have as much vet as the vanilla Fusiliers. They don't even have G43s. They must have just been tossing really nice grenades. Smoke grenade goes down.
Capturing supply
Try and
sector.
convince VonIvan to jump into the poison gas. Doesn't work. Will buy them a little bit of time to engage. Taking a lot of damage though. I don't know what that grenade was aimed at. But okay. Obersoldaten will retreat to safety. Volksgrenadiers set up in green cover, going to contend with these conscripts. Grenade getting tossed into the green cover. I think he probably does have munitions transfer. No, he doesn't. I'm not sure why he built this structure, honestly. It doesn't really seem like he's going to go for a King Tiger. I mean, he might get a Stuka. Does he? Can he even do that? Yeah, his PopCap could support that. Maybe he didn't know what to spend his resources on. So he just teched up, I guess. I don't know. Holds the entire map. VonIvan completely pushed into his base. Still no sign of breaking this containment. Pretty sure that's the game. I don't think there's anything VonIvan can do here. Panthers will just set up and defend and wait for the clock to run out. 50 points remaining.
We have only 50 points remaining. We must hold the enemy. We are down to our last 20. The enemy has silenced one of our anti-tank guns.
Another anti-tank gun gets cleared.
We have only 10
Just keeps them contained. This harassment attempt gets shut down. And VonIvan is sad that the ISU has failed him. And yeah, actually, a lot of frontal shots penetrated the ISU's frontal armor from those Panthers. I don't know the numbers. I don't know what the odds of that happening twice are. That Panther got really lucky in that previous engagement. RNG just did not go in VonIvan's favor this game. Plus, the second ISU wouldn't quite get a shot off on the flanking Panther going across the center like that. So pretty good maneuvers by Crazyman. He also got a little bit lucky. Comes out on top. Good game. Axis wins.